Dear friends, you all would have known in the science there are so many particles. Names are several. Here we are mentioning only two particles. One is Veda, other is Yoga. Wherever the word Yoga comes, an approach to reach Almighty. The travel or approach to reach Almighty is Yoga. The same way, a wave starts from the infinitesimal energy particle and joins with the space, becomes magnetism. Coalescence of two principles. One is Almighty God, other is the wave of started from the particle. This is magnetism. You don't confuse in any way. What is magnetism? It is a coalescence of two great principles. One is Almighty gravity or God or pure space. The other is the wave starting and merging into the space. So these two join, it becomes a great power. Wherever there is infinitesimal energy particle, the wave should be there because of its self-rotative force. Here you have to know the real meaning of the concept wave. Wave is nothing but dissolution of particle. When the particle is having spin, surrounding pressure force of Almighty gives friction. From the friction, the particle is diluted. When time goes on, the particle will go on reducing, finally it will disappear. When it disappears means there is no motion at all. It becomes one with gravity. On the way, you would have known already electron, proton, neutron and a black hole. These all are not separate. First, because of the full speed, electrical charge, magnetic wave is more. So it is called electron. When it is reduced, the electricity is reduced simultaneously. So that is called the second stage of the particle is called proton. Then the neutron. It goes further reduced. There is very less force in the spinning. Similarly, there is less magnetic wave. There is no charge, too much charge. That is called neutron. When it happens, completely the particle stops. When it comes to that, it becomes a black hole. That is gravity, Almighty. Almighty, the gravity is black hole. So, in Hindu philosophy, God is called as black. In Sanskrit, it has come as Krishna. Krishna is black. In Tamil, Karupan. You would have known. Many people are having the name as Karupan. That is called God. So, these four stages of a particle. That is the different name. Also, you take the whole universe as a family. In the family, there is Father. You imagine or have the concept of the Father as pure space. Then, by the self-compressive surrounding pressure force, that itself is split. That becomes a particle. Part is particle, that's all. So, particle you can imagine as a son of the Father. Then the same particle, again, when the self-compressive force around is pressing, it gives, so it becomes a somewhat friction and becomes diluted. You can imagine like that. You wanted to sharpen your knife. You are waiting for the person who is coming and sharpening by some small machine run by leg. So there is a wheel, stone wheel. It will go on rotating. It keeps the knife like that. What happens? There is a friction. From the friction, millions of particles are coming. Where from the particle coming? From the knife. Like that. From the particle, when the friction comes, automatically the particle is reduced, and the minimum, what the particle itself is infinitesimal. The word infinitesimal comes, you cannot see, you cannot perceive, imperceptible. Beyond that, there are several levels of volumes. We are not using those volumes. They are called micro, nano, like that. Nano is 10 millions times. When you reduce anything to 10 million times, that is nano. Like that, it is going on reducing until it becomes nothingness. The energy came working. The same energy is intensified as particle. Very same particle is reduced by its wave function of the wave. When the wave joins with the space, wave is what is called yoga. Yoga is a magnetic wave. When it is joining with the space, that becomes magnetism. The whole universe, all the functions, all the movements are going on only by the magnetic action. This is in a family, it's a grandfather. Grandfather is holding the hand of grandson. Both are having dancing and running like that. So all the drama acted by both grandfather and grandson. This is the whole universe. What you see in the universe, nothing but fluctuation of repulsive force. Whatever the action may be, there is a repulsive force by the friction of Almighty on the particle. So, from the friction, the wave comes, wave repulses and keeps away each and everything aloof. That is a repulsive force. Whatever you see in the whole universe, the force is repulsive force. So, the whole universe is nothing but fluctuation of repulsive force. Nothing but. So, this is you keep these four principles in the mind. One is God, Almighty Space. Second is infinitesimal energy particle. The third is yoga, the third particle which is coming as wave. Then any wave in the universe cannot stay in the lengthwise because surrounding pressure forces everywhere. So that will make everything into global shape. So that wave also is made into global shape. That becomes that also we are calling as particle. When the particle joins with the space, that is magnetism. This magnetic force, when working or entering, permeating into Panchabhutas, in the Akash, it transforms into pressure. In the air, it transforms into sound. In the heat, heavy air, oxygen, it transforms into heat and light. When it enters into the water, liquid, it transforms into taste and the solid smell. These are the 5 transformations of the magnetism in the universe. What more you think in the whole universe? Finally, in the living being, including transformation of Panchatanmatra, the same transformation of magnetism feels what I become. It becomes light. It feels I am light now. So, what degree I was already, what degree now I am when correlating with other things. So, this is the perception. So, more than this, there is nothing. But when you go on thinking and thinking, everything is happening within you, everywhere. So, this is the universal functions. To understand, it is very, very simple. It is very simple. The scientists and the philosophers or religious people made so many cross links. They don't want all of us to understand the truth. They want to hide. So it is there. Now you can all understand. Tomorrow we will deal with the subject. How the association comes into being. We are seeing mountain, we are seeing the people, water, all are association. Masses, how the masses are coming into being. What about the cosmology? How the earth, sun and all are working. How the earth was formed in the beginning. What is the process? This all we are going to think tomorrow. So that is evolution of earth and all the planets and the functions of the planets and the distance, keeping the particular distance between each and every planet. For example, in between Earth and Sun, it is calculated 9 crores of miles, 9 crores of miles between Sun and Earth. The Earth is rotating around the Sun. What is the speed, you know? That speed is for 1 day 15 lakhs and 50,000. 15 lakhs and 50,000 miles. 1 day the earth goes around the sun. Can you believe and understand? You cannot understand the beginning, but I will give you calculation. If you have a calculator, you can calculate. The distance between the sun and the earth is 9 crores of miles. What will be the other end? That is 9 crores, 18. Make the 9 crores into 2. After that 22 by 7, you can get the orbit, the length of the orbit, and divide by 365 days. You will get 15 lakhs and 5,000 miles every day. The wonders of happening in the whole universe. Even ourselves is not wonder. In the beginning, we were just a water of a small particle level, as just like a merchi, melagu, that even lesser than that. How many times we are here? Has anybody done some work for it? Do you know any work to make this enlarge? No. But we are always telling, this is my body, this is my body. I am keeping this like this, like that. So when we understand the truth, we will not claim like that. There will be no what is called a agambhava, ego. Agambhava means a wrong concept. That will not be there. Always there will be only truth in our mind. When the truth only remains, we will not disturb anybody in their way of living. At the same time, we will be helpful to others in the process of living. Only for that, all adults should know Brahmajnanam, which is realization of truth, realization of self. So now, you all are 1/4 Brahmajnanis. Tomorrow evening, you all will be off Brahmajnanis. And the day after tomorrow, all will be full Brahmajnanis. then only I will call all of you as Brahmañanis. So, you all are fortunate to develop your sixth sense to its fullness and achieve the Brahmañanam, which is the perfection of the consciousness and the purpose of the birth of man in the world. With this word, I conclude that part. Let us start Sky course, that is simplified Kundalini Yoga. You all are going to become masters in initiating or giving lectures in the Kundalini Yoga system. For that, you all are ready now. Let us start. Invoking philosophers, yogis, and all other learned people, knowledge. Respecting them, let us start that is Sky meditation system. Before you become Sky master, you have to make yourself a real concept over yourself. You may think you are man. That's all right. The divinity is hidden there. When you add that, you are God in the form of man. Because God is not perceptible. But for the sixth sense, you can understand the God within. You are eating food. Anybody who is not eating food every day? No. There will be no existence at all. You all are eating food. But you all are eating food, but never you think what happens with the food. The food what you eat transforms into 7 thadus. First juice, then rattam, blood, mamsam, madhi, asti, majjai, shukilam, like that. All are made only from the food. If you take chapati, that also becomes a 7 thadus. If you take only vegetable or rice, that also becomes. How much wonderful work is carried out by our body? Now you understand. You take one handful of the rice, cooked rice, give to the scientist, any scientist who knows biology. Request him, make it as blood. Is it possible for him? You already know you cannot do it. You may think it can be done by scientist. No scientist can do that. All right, your father and mother gave birth to you. You go and ask them, can you make this rice into blood? Oh, my boy, you are playing with me like that, they say. All right, what about our friends? No friend will do. All right, there is one more. Whatever you earn, a part is taken by the government as a tax. Any government can do this? No. Then, who is doing? that is unseen power, great power, divine power, God. When you eat and swallow, after that He takes care of. How many functions are going on in the body? There are, in the repulsive force, there are 14 functions are going on. Tukam, now that is a thirst, yes, sleep, thirst, urine, sneezing, irmal, that is cough,
hiccup, belching, tears, urination, defecation, or the sexual fluid emission.
Any of these things you are voluntarily doing? These all are done only by Almighty. So you are not only a bundle of energy particle and mechanical action, making food into waste. You are divine. So in this way you have to understand, when you come to the initiating Guru, you are a divine person. You are making everybody to think themselves as divine. That's a reality. Everybody in the world is a unit of biomagnetism. In the biomagnetic function, when you think of the mind and the genetic center, there are 8 principles jointly working. Otherwise, you cannot move, you cannot think, you cannot live. They are physical body, life force, magnetism, biomagnetism, genetic center, brain, and the senses, mind, all this. Yes, புலன்கள். உடல், உயிர், சிவகாந்தம், கருமையும், மூளை, உள்ளம், மனம், புலன்கள். All these 8 should be functioning. Otherwise, you are not at all living being. Any one of these stops functioning, finished. All other will go with it. So, when we think of all these wonders in the body, we will know our greatness of man. When you know the greatness of yourself, you can understand the greatness of others. There, you will understand he is a replica of God. God Himself has come proliferated into so many living beings. So among them He is one. When this truth is blossomed into you, can you do any harm to anybody? Cannot. That is the man, that is human tendency or consciousness. We have to reach that consciousness. Otherwise, the world will not survive longer time. Each one will do some harm to other, and there will be nobody to harm, then the world will end. What about the atom bomb now? In the year 84, there was one statistic. What was the stock in the whole world? stock of atom bomb that was enough to destroy the whole world 200 times on those days. After that, the power is increased more and more in the atom bomb. And what about the number? Number 100 times, number is increased. What will be the state of people living on the earth? They don't know other than killing one another. There will be no person to kill, then that will end. To stop this, to understand this truth, everybody should know the divinity in man. Understanding the divinity in man. And the divinity itself is working as consciousness in us. That is Brahmajnana. So, we all are starting to reach that goal. We all are in the journey of consciousness, walking towards the goal of Brahman. You all are fortunate. At least in this age, you got the opportunity to think about the truth. I told about the magnetism. Many people know about the magnetism, but how it is existing, how it comes to be, this is not known. Even many scientists are thinking magnetism is charged from the machine, electromagnetism. They don't know. Everywhere there is magnetism. The machine is only intensifying the force, that's all. When it is intensified, there is a very compression into it. You are sending this compression into filaments. Light is burning and fan is turning, all machines are done, even our body is working. That is only repulsion of magnetic force. So the same magnetism is charged by our Akash particle, that is minute particle in our body, which is called a life force. It is having always spinning fast. So by the surrounding compression of Almighty, that produces wave. Again that wave becomes one with the Almighty space, becomes magnetism. Within our body of organism, it is biomagnetism. In the whole universe, the same magnetism is universal magnetism. So this magnetism is charged always from the date of birth or even date of conception. It is going on increasing, it is storing in the center of the body, that is called a genetic center. So from there, spreading to all the parts of the body. Eyes are taking the magnetism, converting or transforming into light. Ears are taking and sound. Similarly, each and every sense taking the magnetism and converting into pressure, sound, light, smell and taste. And the brain is taking a portion of the wave that is feeling, perception. In the perception, there are 3 dimensions. That is cognition, experience, discrimination. Cognition is now when you see something, oh, there is a tree. How you are seeing this? Whenever you open your eyes, your magnetism is being transformed into light and going away. When the same light going away touches anything or obstructed by anything, that much the same shape comes back. That is the reflection. Somebody may see in our eyes what is the reflection. That what you are feeling, that is the mind. So, the whole body is a magnetic force, magnetic unit. How the magnetism is charged? What is the quantity of life force particles in the body? Accordingly, the intensity and quantity of biomagnetism is charged. So, how the life force, which is very light when comparing with other particles, how the life force is staying and running in our body. There is a compound which is sexual vital fluid. What is the quantity of sexual vital fluid in the body? That much only a life force particle will stay in the body, otherwise it will go out. How many people are known this fact? How much you are saving or carefully dealing with your sexual vital fluid, that much your life force will stay in the body, that much will be the magnetic force charge. That much will be the stock in the genetic center. Everybody is having the genetic center. Now, the genetic center should be saved and eagerly maintained well. And also, we can use the genetic center, the magnetic force in the genetic center for better use than not understanding, when understanding clearly. When you bring your life force, that is magnetic force, and keep somewhere in the one of any endocrine gland, focus your mind on it. Mind is the same wave. So it gets intensified. It comes intensified. That intensity makes so many wonders in your body. What is your mind? Mind is also a wave with frequencies. We can divide our mental wave into 4 parts. One is beta wave, 14 to 40 cycles per second. When you are engaged in the perceptions, using your senses, you are converting your magnetism into pressure, sound, light, smell and taste. At that time, magnetism is consumed or working, the frequency is working as beta wave. Suppose now you are keeping your mind, focusing your mind on the same energy in the Ajna Chakra. What happens? You are coming to the alpha wave. Alpha wave is only 8 to 13 cycle per second. See the difference? What is a 14 to 40 cycle per second? You are reduced. Then when you reduce and reduce, what happens? You make a line. This is God or nature. This is a frequency. What is the number of frequency in your mind? You are going away. Here is the 41, 40. When you reduce, you are coming nearer, nearer, nearer. When you come to delta wave, which is 1 to 3, that will happen only when you are doing universal, that is a Turiyatit meditation, becoming one with Almighty. Then only it will come. What happens? You are one with God, nearer to God. So according to the change in the mental wave frequency, you are nearing or becoming one with Almighty God. There the mind is getting stronger and stronger, clear and clear, very peaceful state. So this state will gather more and more energy into our body, and also when you use less energy for your mental function. So the meditation is very, 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 very profitable to mankind. So that meditation only will make you to understand or realize the truth, God. Unless you reduce your mental frequency, you cannot understand the secrets of nature. So as you reduce and reduce, therefore, the keeping or focusing our mind on the biomagnetic force itself is meditation. You all have started the journey of consciousness to enlighten humanity. I am very glad and bless all of you that you all will get full success in your career. With these words, I conclude this session